Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a very quick video on another interesting tip of success that I've found. You know, when you read and watch articles and read books and watch videos and so forth, you end up picking up small subtle things that a lot of successful people eerily seem to do. And so here's my success tip of the day for you guys. So I read in this one article about one of the most successful talk show hosts that are still operating in late night right now, Jimmy Kimmel. This article profiling him, and first off, you find out that he's exceptionally hard worker. His schedule is constantly booked with all these things, charity events, and so forth. But more importantly, what I want to talk about in this video is that his talk show is owned by Disney through ABC, I believe, and basically he met with the CEO of the Disney Corporation, and one thing he constantly found was that this guy was always there ahead of him. So he had this game he was started playing where he tried to get there earlier than him each time they had a meeting, and each time he came up earlier, this man was already there. So he kept going earlier and earlier, and this man was already there. And I believe at the time it was David Eisner as the CEO, but maybe it was Bob Iger. But anyhow, I'm recently reading this new book called The Education of the Value Investor, which is irrelevant. The point though is that in the book it profiles a very similar case where billionaire Charlie Munger did the same thing with one of his employees, Liu Lu. It's a Chinese high-level executive that works with Munger, and Li Lu, he realized that Munger was always there ahead of him, so he started playing this game where he tried to beat this man and get there earlier. And it got to a point where he kept coming earlier and earlier, and Munger was always there, to the point where they were both an hour early to the event, just sitting there reading their newspapers before the event actually took place, which was ridiculous. I feel like it's kind of inefficient. Like, if you're both already there for a meeting, shouldn't you just start talking? But I guess maybe it was some official thing that they had to wait anyways. So I don't know how that happens, but I feel like I guess you could just go like 24 hours earlier just to like get it over with, rather than like these 15-minute increments and then waste time doing that. But it's a very interesting thing, because you see, like, when you think of someone who's successful, they're not usually the person who has a bunch of trash in their cars. Recently I saw this car that was just filled with trash, to the point where it was just mountains of trash, and the only seat that you can sit in was the front seat, because the whole car was piled to the top of the ceiling with trash. That's not someone you would think is successful. And showing up on time is another one of those things. When you think of someone who's always late, who always doesn't get things done, who's always unreliable, that's not someone you think of as successful. Munger likes to use this thing called inversion. Basically, you look at the opposite of things. So he says two of the biggest things for the failure for success are sloth and unreliability. And he actually did this whole commencement speech that you can find online, where he does this whole inversion for all the qualities that you would find in someone who's not going to achieve success, which is very enlightening. So that's all I really want to say. You know, you pick up these things. Like, if you're one of those people who's always late to events, important things, that's the first thing you should fix. And it's one thing that I found I've started implementing in my life that's very similar to what Munger experienced, because apparently the story for why he decided to start doing this was that there's this one day where he, on no reason of his own, but because of events, was late severely to a meeting. And from then on, he vowed he would never do this. And for me, it was like similar. It's like, I don't want to be that guy who's always late. That guy everyone's just disappointed in, sighs at when he rushes in late to things, and just a mess completely. Like, even if it has no relation or correlation to success. I don't want to be that sort of person. Not because of what other people think, but because of what I think myself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Later.